everyone and welcome to Yoga with Julia Wiley. I'm Julia and today we're going to be doing a yoga for strength and balance. So we're going to be starting off on our backs. So just lie yourself down and then hug your knees into the chest. You might like to bring your head up, crunching yourself into a little ball, and then lie down. Now stretch one leg out, hug your right knee in, and then let's swap over. So hug your left knee in and stretch your right leg out along the floor, just keeping it just off the mat a couple of inches. Let's swap over again and hug the left knee. And now stretch both legs out, hold it here, and then lower them down just above the mat. Keep the lower back pressed down into the mat. And take the legs up again, stretching them long. Again, lower them halfway down, hold. And then just off the mat, hold it here. Bring them halfway up. And all the way up. And hug them into the chest. We're going to come forward, so cross your legs and roll yourself and come onto your hands and knees, easing back into a plank pose. And hold it here, trying to keep the body in a nice straight line. We're going to go into a side plank now. So bring down one knee if you like, or else come straight over onto the sides of both of your feet, stretching up the right arm towards the ceiling. And if you want, you can also take up your top leg, which makes it a bit more of a balance. Holding it here. And then look down, ease back into that plank pose, and we'll take it to the other side. So again, you have the option of bringing your right knee down if you want, or else come straight over onto the sides of your legs, left hand to the ceiling, and if you want to, take up the top leg. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. And then ease yourself back down into front plank. Knees down if you want to, or else lower yourself in a straight line all the way down to the mat. Legs and feet come flat. Press up into a cobra. Shoulders are back and down. Lift up through the chest. And then tuck your toes under. Press the hips back to the ceiling for downward facing dog. Walk your feet in a little closer towards your hands and press into the pose. Pushing back, letting your head relax down. From here we're going to come forward, so you can take little steps or one big step, or else bend your knees, look forwards and leap lightly up to your hands. Look up here, legs are straight, so your hands can be on your legs or on the ankles or on the floor if you can get them here with your legs straight. And then exhale, forward fold, bringing your head down towards your feet. Come up with a nice straight back, reach the arms out overhead and lean back if you like into a little bit of a back bend. And hands come to namaste. Well done. Reach out and up now overhead. Again, lean back a little if you like. Exhale, flat back. And let yourself round all the way down. Hands come to your legs or the floor. Look up for a moment. Hands could be here or here. And then bend your knees until you get your hands flat, unless you can get them flat without bending your knees. Shift your weight a little bit forward. You can step, walk, or jump back into plank. Come to your knees if you like, or else lower slowly to the mat. Press up to cobra, and then back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet again a little closer towards your hands, or your hands a little bit further back, so that you can really press into this pose. And breathe. We're going to come forward. So remember your options: walk, step, or jump up to your hands. Look up, inhale, exhale, forward fold, bringing your body close to your legs, and then come up with a nice straight spine, straight legs, Arms reach up overhead, lean back a little if you like, and come back to Namaste. Now bend your knees down, keeping your knees behind your toes. Chair pose, nice straight spine here, holding it. And take your arms up overhead, reach them long, pull back, and then straighten your legs, dive forward, flat back, rounding it down finally as your head comes towards the mat. Look up, inhale here, and then bring your hands flat, legs can be bent, step or jump back to plank, lower yourself down all the way or hover just off the mat. And then come into cobra or up dog, so you can have your knees up off the mat or on them. And then roll back over your feet, downward facing dog. Walk your feet a little closer towards your hands or your hands a little back and press into it. Take a few deep breaths here. And then again we're going to come forward. So remember your options, step, walk or jump. Up to your hands, look up, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Then come into chair pose, bending the knees, keeping them behind your toes. Arms reach up, pull back, sink into this chair. And then come all the way back up, reach long, back bend if you like, and hands back into Namaste. Well done. Reach out and up again, lengthening, lean back a little if you like, and bring it forwards and come all the way down into a forward fold. Now hold on to your elbows and let your body hang down. You can let your legs pedal one at a time if you like, and then hang down, head towards the mat. Bend your knees so you get your hands flat, and then walk yourself back into plank pose. Hold it here. See if you can lift one leg up off the mat, hold it, and lower, and the other one, hold it, and lower. And push the hips back for downward facing dog, walking them a little closer towards your hands. Again, pressing back with the hips. Nice long arms. Take your left leg up to the ceiling now, as high as it'll go for three-legged dog. Stretching it out. And then look forward, step that leg up between your hands. Back foot comes flat and come up for warrior one pose. So sink into the front leg, back leg strong, reaching up. Then come down into a lunge. Come on your back toes, stretch forward with your chest. Step yourself back into plank and lower with control. Press up into cobra or up dog and back into downward facing dog again. Walking the feet a little closer. Press into the pose. Now take your right leg up to the ceiling, three-legged dog on the other side, stretching it long. Look forward, step that foot up between your hands, back foot comes flat, warrior one pose. Reaching up with your arms, sink into that front leg, back leg is strong. And then the arms come out, come down to lunge, stretching forward with your chest, come on your back toes, step it back to plank, and then lower with control, knees down if you like. Come into cobra, and back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet a little closer towards your hands, and again press into the pose. If this is too much, you can come down to child's pose for a moment, take a break here. And then if you're in child's pose, come back into downward facing dog. Look forward, step left foot up between your hands, back foot flat. Bring yourself up to warrior one pose. Holding it here, lengthening from the belly button to your fingers back leg nice and strong, and then open up to warrior two. You might take the stance a little bit wider here, so you can really sink into that front leg. Back leg is strong. Press that little toe side of the foot into the mat, and then bring your left forearm onto the thigh. Reach up and over with your right arm and stretch long, trying to get a straight line all the way down the right side of the body here. Bring yourself back up to warrior two. Turn the front palm to face the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, now slide down the back leg, keeping that front knee bent. Come back to warrior two, and we're going to go into a half moon pose. So shift your weight onto that front leg. Bring your hand down onto the mat, fingertips or the hand flat. Your other hand on the small of your back for now. Shift the weight onto the front leg and lift the back leg as you straighten your left leg out. Let your hip rotate around and take your left hand up towards the ceiling. And then bring your hips parallel to the mat. Slowly bring the hands to the heart center for warrior three balance. Bend the leg you're standing on. Come back onto the back toes. Reach your arms up overhead. Lean back a little for crescent pose. And then come your hands either side of the front foot, just a little bit in front of it. Step yourself back into plank. Lower with control all the way or just off the mat. Come into up dog or cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet a little closer towards your hands and breathe. And then bend your knees, look forwards, step, walk or jump up to your hands, straighten the legs. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. The weight is a little bit towards the front of your feet here. Come up with a nice flat back. Arms reach up overhead, slight back bend if you like, and bring yourself back to Namaste. Well done. And step your feet apart, hands onto your waist, lift up, pushing the hips forwards. Inhale here, exhale, come forward, bringing the head down towards the mat. Bring your hands on the back of the legs unless they can come onto the mat. Take your stance a little bit wider if you like, and bring your head down. If your hands are on the floor, bring your elbows towards each other. Walk your hands back between your feet. Otherwise, hold on to the back of your legs. Let your head relax. And then hands onto your waist. Come up with one inhale, nice flat back, all the way to standing, and step yourself up to the other side of the mat. Hands into Namaste. Then reach out and up overhead. Take it into a little bit of a back bend if you like here. And then come forwards, flat back, and let yourself round all the way down towards your feet. Inhale, looking up. Hands can be on the legs or on the floor or on your ankles. And then bend your knees if you like till you get your hands flat, unless you can do it with your legs straight. Shift your weight a bit forwards, step, walk or jump back into plank. Knees down if you like, and then lower yourself to the mat or just above it. Come to cobra or up dog and back into downward facing dog. Walking your feet in a little closer or your hands a little further back for downward facing dog. From here now, take your right leg up towards the ceiling for three-legged dog. Stretch it long. And then look between your hands, step that foot up. Between your hands, back foot comes flat and come up to warrior one pose. So sink into the front leg, back leg strong. Reach up through the fingertips. The gaze is up towards the ceiling. And then open up to warrior two, taking your stance a little bit wider here. From here we're going to go into the half moon pose. So step the weight onto the front leg, Bring your right hand down or come on your fingertips, left hand on the small of your back. Shift your weight to the front leg and slowly straighten it as you lift the back leg up, opening the hip towards the ceiling. Take your left hand up towards the ceiling as well. And then shift the hips to face the floor and slowly bring your hands to the heart center for warrior 3. Bend the leg you're standing on, come back with control onto the back toes, lift your arms up and lean back for crescent pose. And then bring your hands down just in front of the front foot, either side of it, making a triangle between your foot and your hands. Step yourself back into plank pose, knees down if you want, or else lower to the mat or just above it. Come to cobra or up dog and take the hips back to the ceiling, walking your feet in slightly for downward facing dog. From here, you have your choice. Step, walk or jump up to your hands with control. Straighten the legs. Look up, flat back, coming on your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms reaching out to the sides. Stretch up, lean back a little if you like. And come back to namaste. And come to the front. Now bring your weight onto your right leg now. We're going to come into a standing pigeon. So bring the foot across the right thigh and sink down into a chair pose. Standing pigeon balance. Find something to look at that's not moving. And then come up and release. And we'll do the other side. So bring the leg up onto the thigh, bend down. Find your balance. Breathe. And ease up and let that leg down with control. For another standing balance, bring your weight onto your right foot and bring the left knee up. Hug it into the chest. Now stay here if you like, or else see if you can grab hold of your big toe with 2 fingers. Stand up straight and send that leg out. It may or may not come straight, and that's fine. Hold. And take the leg out to the side. And if you want to, try looking out over the opposite shoulder. And bring the leg back to the center. Try and keep it up as high as you can. Hold it here for a moment and release. Give your legs a little shake out. Well done. And then bring your weight onto your left leg. Bring the right knee up this time. Hug it in. Stay here, or else see if you can grab your big toe with 2 fingers, or you can use a strap for this pose if you like. Standing straight first. Send that leg out, pushing out through the heel. And take the leg to the side, and if you want to, try looking out over your left shoulder. Back to the center. Hold that leg out as high as you can, straight as you can. And release. Well done. Give the legs another shake out. Then come up again, up to the front of the mat. Hands into namaste. Reach the arms out and up. Little back bend if you like. Come to a flat back, stretching out, and let yourself round down. Hands towards the floor or onto your legs. Press into the mat or into your shins, look up, and then bend your knees to bring your hands flat. Step, walk or jump back into plank, and knees down if you want to. Lower yourself all the way to the mat with control. Legs and feet come flat and press up into cobra. Really lift up through the chest. And then lower yourself down. Now take your legs just slightly apart. Bend your knees. See if you can reach back and grab hold of your feet or your ankles. If not, just have your hands on the floor. lift your legs up. If you're holding your ankles, lift as high as you can here, looking up for bow pose. Now we're going to take it into a sort of a starfish. So bring your legs out straight, arms to the sides, lifting as high as you can, and then bring your arms out in front like Superman, flying out to the sides, aeroplane, and then clasp them behind you and lift up as high as you can. Hold it here. Well done. Take yourself back into child's pose. Take a break here. Arms reach in front, hips rest back towards your heels. And then ease yourself forward onto your tummy again. And we're going to press up into a cobra, but we're going to use our arms as little as possible. So come up as high as you can first. Now, when I let go, I'm going to fall. So I'm going to try and hold myself with my back muscles as much as I can, using my arms as little as possible. And I'm going to go down about an inch, and I'm trying to use my back muscles to hold me here. This is the toughest back exercise I know. It's easy to cheat, but when you're doing it, you really feel it. Come down about another inch, hold it. Eventually you get to the point where you actually don't need your arms anymore. Lower down another inch, hold it. A little bit more. And release down. Press yourself again back into that child's pose, stretching out the spine. This is a great counter pose. Lengthening out the lower back. Well done. From here we're going to come back up to sitting and to boat pose. So either just ease yourself over to sitting, or else cross your ankles, see if you can rock back and come straight into the boat pose. So you find your balance, slowly take the legs up. Perhaps you can get them parallel to the floor. Perhaps you can get them higher. Find your balance here. And then release, shift yourself a little bit forwards. Have your hands out in front and round your spine into this cat curl, and ease yourself down one vertebra at a time, using your abdominal muscles. And when you get down there, hug your knees into the chest. Well done. You might like to give yourself a little rock side to side. And then bring your hands behind your head, straighten out your left leg and bring your left elbow towards or touching your right knee. And then switch over to the other side. So the leg that's stretching out doesn't touch the floor. Let's go back and forth a few times, bicycles. One more. And then hug your knees into the chest again. Well done. Now stretch your legs up and out like a letter V. Reach between your legs with your hands and lift up, lifting through the chest so the head stays in line with the body. And let's just do some little pulses here. And then again, lie down, hugging the knees into the chest, and let yourself rock very gently side to side. Now let your feet come down to the mat, having them close to your hips and hip width apart. Press your hips up towards the ceiling for bridge pose. If you can, clasp your hands underneath you, wriggle the shoulder blades under, pressing up as high as you can with the hips. All the weight is on your feet and on your shoulders. Now stay here if you like. If you want to take it further, bring your hands around so that your fingers are facing towards your ears, and see if you can come up onto the top of your head. If you want to take it any further, you can press up into a full bridge or wheel pose. And then lower down easily, tucking the neck under. Come down one vertebra at a time. Hug your knees into your chest again. Let yourself rock side to side very gently. And then having the hands by the sides, let your feet come to the floor and the knees just flop gently over to the right for a lovely gentle side stretch. Take a breath here. And then take the knees up and let them flop over gently to the other side. Again, coming back to the center, stretch your legs out nice and long and your arms above your head. Take one side of the body longer than the other and stretch the other side longer. Stretch both sides. Take a big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Letting go. Bring your hands down by your sides. Close your eyes and let your head just rock side to side a couple of times. And relax down. Take a few moments here in Shavasana, the relaxation pose. Just letting every muscle go. Stay here for a little while longer, or else slowly ease yourself back and up to sitting. You may like to also do one of my 5-minute meditations. If you look at my playlist, you'll see there's quite a few of them. One of them is recommended here. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you click the bell symbol, you'll get updated whenever I come out with my new videos. So I'll see you soon. Namaste.